Hello and welcome to the Dream Team Tonic podcast. My name is Scott and we're reunited. This is our first one back together, isn't it? Myself, Tony, Ben.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks. You're good.
Nice. How's your week, Ben?
Yeah, not too bad. I think the score's okay this week so far. I was hoping for a bit more, but I've had a couple of players not play, so yeah. Well, I'll talk about it in a bit.
Been a bit of a crazy week though for that sort of thing, isn't it? But in general, Tony, what about you? All good?
Yeah. Started well the weekend. Rovers beating Leeds, always nice. 2 massive wins for Rovers this week, so that's good. Back in the playoff picture. I was just expecting a little bit more from the dream team, but yeah, it's been a strange one with early substitutions, some players not playing and that, but injuries. We'll get on to that, but yeah, not too bad. Could be worse.
We've got our Patreon and YouTube channel members in the chat, so we'll just quickly shout out a few of them before we go over to our teams. We've got Get Carter. He's just here for the Joe Gomez talk this evening. We'll be covering that. Miss Noopy, season's greetings, everyone. Oh, we're in 2nd of December. Your trees up yet?
Yeah, they're there.
Yeah, put it up yesterday.
Honestly, you get kids. That's it. It's the imagining 2nd week of November. They're wanting to get it up.
No kids here, but we went early. We went early getting ours up this time round as well. We had a free weekend, so we just got it done and dusted. Mr. H as well. God, it's all Christmas. Ho, 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 everyone. Give the Tonic ads an early Christmas present. Smash the like button while you're waiting. God, everyone's feeling festive. Gary Walker's in here. Roberto, Mark Tavares, Philip, Ian, and Nobbles in the chat. Good evening, everyone. If you're listening to this in the future, give it a like and subscribe. We're currently live with our members. If you want to become one of our members, patreon.com/Dream Team Tonic, or there's a big join button on YouTube. Check that one out. Early access to the pods, Discord access, and priority Q&As. Let's go straight into the week, shall we? With Ben, go on, you kick us off. How's the week been here?
87 points. It's not too bad considering what happened to my team. Martinelli again sat on the bench, didn't play. So frustrating, but yeah, he still banged in midweek, didn't he? I think he got a 9-pointer, so it's not too bad. It was between him and Garnacho to come out for me. Had a feeling Garnacho might get the rest this week because he's having a look at the boys and he is having a look at the team. He's changing it at the moment, having a look who's decent in different positions. So yeah, Garnacho got pulled as well. Martinelli stayed for me. So Palmer came in, 15-pointer. Decent transfer. The other one was Porro or Timber. I couldn't afford Porro if I kept Martinelli. So I brought Timber in. And in the end, it's 3-3 at the moment. Both got 3 points. I just think Porro. I do like Porro a bit better than Timber, just because I know the defense ain't great for Spurs, but he just got that all-round scoring ability. He could get a bonus. He could get 3 or 5 bonus on a losing game. He creates goals. He gets chances created. Obviously, he scores the odd goal as well. So it's just a bit more exciting. Timber's in a solid team, and Arsenal's fixtures are very nice as well. So, yes, it's a decent pick. Martinez in goal, went off at half-time, one pointer. And he nearly conceded another one, kicking the ball straight to Jackson.
He's having a nightmare, weren't he, that game?
They proper pressed well, didn't they, Chelsea, though? They couldn't get out. Villa. Mazraoui, 56-minute substitution. was on for a clean sheet as well. Totti, what we say?
De Ligt went off at the same time as well, didn't
Yeah.
he? A lot of
Yeah.
unhappy people.
There's a few people on the double. Yeah, double United at the back. Totti Gomez, 0 points. Saka 20-pointer. Foden 1-pointer. Fernandes 10, got 2 assists. Salah 13 and Haaland 3. Max captain. I just couldn't make my mind up. I thought I probably would have went Palmer this week, just because of the Southampton fixture in the second game of the week. So I would have been buzzing now with 15 points if I picked Palmer. But it was a hard week. There's lots of good options. Obviously, Salah, Saka, Fernandes, Foden, Haaland can still go off in the next game against Forest. You got Martinelli there as well. So, yeah, decent.
I was thinking that before we came on. I was thinking, looking at 40 points, Saka does feel like we've done a good thing here with the max captain. But actually, when you think, I do think we said we'd both go Palmer when we did the live stream. And then 10 points off the pace doesn't feel too bad, does it? With that Southampton game to go. So, do you think it'll stay on Saka?
Well, no, I think Palmer's going to get a couple against Southampton. Yeah. So, Saka might get 1 against United.
It'll be close.
Yeah,
very, very close between them two. So I think anybody who's captain Saka or Palmer, I think without the max cap, I think they'll do all right.
Yeah.
I noticed Tito. I think it was Tito gave the pen away, didn't he? And didn't get booked. And I was like, oh, you've been walking that tightrope for ages.
Yeah, he's going as soon as possible now. He's got Everton next week, next game. So hopefully he might get a clean sheet because they can't score, can they?
No, another one. Was that 4 in a row now? No goals, Everton, I think. Yeah, crazy. Oh, at least that
means
didn't
you,
turn
Ben.
Yeah, jinx.
Yeah.
Let's come to yours, Tony.
Yep, 88 points per week.
Oh,
yeah, very similar. 1583 in total. 362nd currently. I don't really have much luck with keepers in this game. Obviously, Martinez giving me a little bit of a headache. Really, given that I've got Estupinan, who was a singler next week, as well as Cunha, and Palmer. So I think I'm going to be maybe 2 games down next week, possibly, or more. Or I just play without a keeper and do my usual tricks. But Martinez 1 point, disappointing half time. So Estupinan, nice 7-pointer. I brought him in last week for the double. I think, was it? Did they concede a last-minute goal last week? Was it?
I can't remember what he
sure
ended up with last week.
Got him 1.
Was it Palace?
What?
No, can't remember who they played now.
I think who they played the other week.
Bournemouth.
Anyway.
Yeah, late goal against Bournemouth.
Yeah, sorry, with the Bournemouth one, weren't it? Yeah, a bit of a sickener. So that could have been a really nice transfer. It's not bad, 7 points when you don't get a clean sheet. I'm happy with that all day long. Still full of the way to come. Porro, who are transferred in for Rico Lewis. Obviously, City really struggling for confidence. He's just sapped from them. Absolutely sapped. Brought in Porro, who had a great week. 0.3 rise. Only the 3 points. Obviously conceding against Fulham, but he's such a threat, Porro, that he's always good to having your team. Mazraoui, Ben's touched on it. Obviously, so disappointing to I mean, you're just hoping another goal goes in, thinking that the Dallo owners or people with Nana are going to get away with that clean sheet, and Mazraoui's lost it. But yeah, just a 1 point for his performance. With Arsenal to come, so I'm not expecting much from that because Arsenal are playing really, really well. Garnacho, I kept Garnacho because I wanted to bring in Palmer, who I took out Fernandes for. So that's not gone great. But if I'd kept Fernandes, got rid of Garnacho, I wouldn't have been able to afford Porro. So it was just a bit of balancing. I wanted the attacking threat of Porro and Palmer. So Palmer 15, Garnacho on with a 1. Hopefully can do a little bit of Arsenal. Foden, I could have used him as the mate weight for Palmer, but they're going to bounce back. They are going to bounce back, and I think they're going to give someone a really good hiding. It's just holding out for it. I think Fordham are a little bit unfortunate. I don't think he's been as crap as what people were making out. I think the whole team is struggling for confidence, whereas he's so talented. He's got to have a little bit going on around him. He can't do everything on his own. I think he's going to bang soon. So held on to him. Hopefully it's against Forest home next game. Saka, 40 points. Another great performance from Saka. Main man. He's brilliant. We had a nice fixture, I think, home to United, who are trying out different things, new formations. Arsenal is so set in the way they play, and they are playing brilliantly. I really do think they could turn United over quite heavy. Depends how Amarin wants to attack that game, or is he going to go and try and sit back? And we'll see. It could be an interesting game, that one. Cunha, obviously, it's a strange performance from Wolves. Obviously, Bournemouth, we know what they're about. They're a good side, so only the 3 points from him, but hoping for a bit more at Everton away. Salah, brilliant, 13 points. Away at Newcastle next, who got beat last home game off West Ham. So Liverpool, in that first 20-25 minutes, they're unbelievable. I know it's against a shot City side that they have no confidence, but the pressing was so good. So good. Really, really good. They're obviously, it's just fallen nicely into place for Slot there. He's doing a really good job. So yeah, they were impressive. Haaland, 3 points. And that's your lot, 88 so far. See how things go. It's not the worst, not the best.
That Bruno Foden decision that you had was one that everyone asked over and over again on the deadline stream. It's a tough one to know which way to go, wasn't it, really? There was the talk that Bruno was playing deeper, wasn't there? Everyone kept bringing up that Bruno was playing deeper, but in the end, he didn't for that game. So, tough one.
I mean, there's no... Obviously, there's a right or wrong answer now, but at the time...
Yeah.
I mean, to advise someone to take out... Nobody knows for certain. Foden or Fernandes. Yeah.
You could look at it back to front as well, really, because Man U have played their better fixture, and Foden's better fixture still to come as well. So,
yeah. I mean, you could easily see Foden getting a 10-pointer against Forest, and Fernandes getting just appearance points and a yellow card against Arsenal, coming out with a 1. That's not against all odds.
Looking at you both there with Martinez in the goal. Is it Fraser?
Yeah, honestly, it's really, really thrown a spanner into the works for me. I'm happy enough to hold Palmer next week because he could do anything in any game. He's one of them players. So we're hoping that keeping Palmer as a single, I'd still be able to tidy up Estupiñán and Cunha. But that's the risk you take when you throw in a few punty players and you know they're going to hit a single. So I might be playing without a keeper, depending on the news regarding Martinez.
It's a shame neither of them have got FA Cup either, have they? Like the week after. Quick do mine and we'll move on to listener questions. I broke 100. And I was looking at it, I don't think my team looks that much different, to be honest. I guess the only difference really is I got lucky with Dalot this time. I had Mazraoui, but I also had Dalot. So Muric in goal, 4 points. That's an okay return for someone of that price. I obviously had him in before I knew about Forster. Mazraoui obviously didn't get the clean, went off early. But I felt like I was owed that Dalot one because I had one previously where Dalot was taken off and everyone else got the clean sheet for Mazraoui and De Ligt, and I only had Dalot, I think, at that point. So, yeah, I feel like I was maybe owed that one. Timber, 3 points. Yeah, he was okay in that game. Had a shot on target, but there's just no other backup right back for Arsenal at the minute, so I think he's pretty secure. Max captain, the same as you two guys, so it's on Saka at the moment with 40. But I've kept hold of Bruno, 10 points, Palmer 15, and Foden 1. And then, I tried to take the punty pick on João Pedro, just the 4 points though. So, a lot of people complaining already that it's not happened for Cunha, it's not happened for Pedro. Why didn't we go for Kluivert as our cheeky little punt, or Sharda?
Yeah.
Did you see the guy in the crowd trying to put Kluivert off?
Yeah.
No, I've not seen that.
Yeah, took his shirt off and pulled his pants down. That was a match of the day. You'll have to have a watch of that. It was good.
Brilliant.
But yeah, that's I dropped just out of the top 100 to like 110 the start of the week, and that's put me back to 72nd. So yeah, back in it, back in. Let's go into these listener questions, shall we? I've put a few extra slides in here, just because there's a few bits that have been going on. So FA Cup third round, drawn today. So it takes place in gameweek 19. Is that right, Ben?
It does indeed. Yep.
So you've just been updating the fixture ticker, haven't you? Getting all those fixtures put in. So what level is it? I always think it's second level. What's the name of our second tier on the paper?
Important player.
Important.
So you can access Ben's ticker on there and have a look at what the combinations of the doubles. Have you had a look and seen if there's any that take your fancy for that game week?
There's lots of home matches for Premier League teams, isn't there, this time? If you've noticed that. I think there's only 5 away games out of all 20 Premier League teams. So you've got Man City are playing at home against Salford, and then they got Brentford away on the Tuesday, possibly. Obviously, the fixtures, the dates aren't announced yet for January, but that's a good one. Liverpool's got Accrington Stanley at home and Forest away. Villa have West Ham at home, Everton away. I'll give a shout out to Arsenal because they've got a juicy double. Man United at home and Tottenham at home in the midweek. Man U have Arsenal away, but Southampton at home. Tottenham are away at Tamworth, and then they have Arsenal away midweek. Chelsea have Morecambe and Bournemouth at home, both at home. Newcastle welcome Bromley and Wolves. Crystal Palace entertain Stockport and Leicester away. West Ham have Villa away and Fulham at home. Brighton, Norwich away, Ipswich away. Bournemouth, West Brom at home, Chelsea away. And then we got Everton, Peterborough at home, Villa at home. Wolves, Bristol City away, Newcastle away. Fulham, Watford at home, West Ham away. Forest have Luton at home and Liverpool at home. Brentford have Plymouth at home and Man City at home. Leicester, QPR and Crystal Palace both at home. Ipswich Town, Bristol Rovers at home and Brighton at home. And Southampton have Swansea at home and Man United away. So as you see, lots of home fixtures. But yeah, a lot of them. Once I said at the end, there are a lot of red fixtures. Obviously, look at the top half of the table, don't you, for the doubles?
It's hard, isn't it? Now the squad depth that some of these teams have got. I guess Arsenal, you know that they're at least going to put their best team out. You'd think for both of those.
Yeah, and you should get a good double for Man United, obviously, because they'll put a strong team out, and then they've got Southampton at home in the next fixture. Yeah, Arsenal's got to go full strength in both games, haven't they? Really big games. Man U, Tottenham. You could see a lot of rotation for City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Newcastle, Chelsea. So, yeah, Palace don't usually rotate, but
depending on the title race. Depending on the title race as well, isn't it? If Liverpool were like clear and coasting, you think they probably won't. They'll just try and defend that title, surely.
Yeah,
tough one.
Harvey Elliott.
Cool.
Good shout for that Accrington Stanley game.
If you do want to check that out, that's updated already, isn't it, on the Patreon?
Yep.
No messing.
Straight away. Well played there. Right. Quick look at the captaincy as well. We did cover it, but we think the majority of this could be down to Max's captain. I think, because it does include who your captain's armband was put on. But it still looks pretty spread, doesn't it? I think that's the most even we've seen. 24% Palmer, 22 Salah, 21 Haaland, and 18
Kelleher.
Yeah, surely we've said some of these have got to be people that played it and we're just having a laugh.
Mike said on the stream, didn't he, on the chat, he said that it just takes whatever people leave the captaincy on. So even if the max captain's on and they can put it on the goalie, it will still move around.
Yeah.
There was a funny one, wasn't there? I think there was a Forster one as well, weren't there? If you go further down, obviously. There was a Forster captain in there.
I've only got the first page. I did joke around and say I might do Muric, but you said, didn't you? Just in case it doesn't go through.
Yeah.
Right, let's go to some of these questions. So Connor up first. Is Ødegaard overpriced? Obviously, really nice performance in that win. Scored the pen. Would you call it a pity pen? Is that fair? What do you reckon, Ben?
He's looking.
What's he? 5.2.
This is targeted.
Yeah.
This is targeted at you, isn't it? This question.
No, I think I said it. Yeah, I think that I had said it because we're obviously tag team partners, and I think he either was asking my opinion or he maybe put it in the Discord. But I just said he is a fantastic player. I just felt like 5.1 at the time was slightly high. I thought for someone that doesn't get a load of goals, plays fantastic, and I mean he's had an attacking return in every game since he's come back from injury. I think it's 4 in a row now, so no doubt hit a bit of form. But is he pickable for you guys at the moment, considering him?
He's a good option, like you say. If you remove the goal, the penalty, from the West Ham game, he's on 5 points, 2 tackles, a shot on target, 1 bonus point, plus his appearance points, 5 points, and 7, and 8 previous 3. He's a very steady player to have. Is he going to be able to hit the heights of the other players up at that price point? I don't know. He's not explosive enough for the over 5 mil bracket. He's a good 4.5 mil player, isn't he? 4 mil player, steady ticking along. I mean, but if Saka's willing to keep sharing his penalties out, then who knows? Who knows?
What did he say after the game? He said he's given me plenty of goals before, so I thought I'd give him one back. Something along those lines. I don't see it happening very often.
Would it not Saka give it away last year? Did he? Who did he give that to?
He's a generous guy. He gave Havertz. He gave one to
Yeah.
Havertz, and then I think Saka went off, and then I think the next one went to Odegaard after that. Such a lovely club.
He won't score a hat trick of penalties, will he? Ever?
No.
No, just keep giving them away.
Yeah, I sort of agree. Like, it's hard because I think the goals are the points are so much weighted towards goals. That's the bit that bothers me a little bit. If you think of like Palmer's at 5.8, for example, it's not really far off. But then there's not much around that price point either, I don't think, at the moment. And you've got, 6.1 Foden, who's we all love. We've all got him. But then he's not really delivering to 6.1 standards. So it makes you wonder whether you do just drop down, go for him. I still think I'd prefer Havertz at the moment.
I'm really surprised Foden's been able to hold his price that high. Obviously, a few performances here and there that are just keeping it held. Again, it just goes off like once Foden bangs, he's capable of them big hauls, whereas an Odegaard probably isn't going to haul. He might get a few 12-pointers, but he's never going to hit the heights of 18, 20, 24. I know that's going to come back and bite me. You get a hat trick next game, but it's tricky to say he's overpriced. He's such a good player, and he's right in the middle of the. I think he's just a little bit heavy. He's right at the top side.
I think the only thing that could just about swing it is where it is a nice fixture run that could potentially play into it if you think you can just jump on it. But you get 90 minutes or near to 90 minutes twice a week from him. You know that for sure.
Yeah,
is the only thing,
which is always good.
In your thoughts, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it short term. Obviously, like you said, if probably game week 15 for me, if I was going to sell Foden, I'm going to keep Foden for 14. I think he's got Palace and Juventus both away, but it's a double game week, and I just think he can still do well in that because he could bang against Forest in midweek, and then the City just start putting it together again. You can just change like that in football, can't it? Game week 15, he's got a single against Man U. I do recall him scoring a hat trick against Man U though last season, wasn't it? Or the season before. He definitely scored a few goals last year because I remember working away and I listened to it on the radio and he was scoring for fun. But yeah, you could move off him there for Odegaard, with Odegaard having Everton and Crystal Palace in a double, both at home, and then he's got Palace and Ipswich in a double the week after. So that could be a way and freeing up $1 million. I mean, I don't mind it for this next few games. Obviously, not instead of Saka though, just to stick him in with Saka. Yeah, I don't mind it if you can afford it.
It might be the difference from getting one of your defenders up to a Trent, for example, couldn't it, potentially, to lose that mil there, boost someone else up a bit further. Yeah, I think it's okay. I just had a quick look. He's scored three braces for Arsenal. I'm sure Foden's probably got quite a few more than that, hasn't he?
Do a hat trick then.
But no,
He'll get-
definitely not a
he'll
bad
get-
pick.
He'll get a couple of penalties given to him or something.
Yeah,
But
yeah, he's
what
definitely
was that?
changed the weight.
What was that you were saying about Trent there?
Oh no, I was just saying if you went from like a Foden down to an Erdegaard, it's sort of what you can do with that extra money is a big boost as well. Maybe you can get one of your defenders up to a Trent almost, can't you, with that extra? So could be worth it.
Yeah.
I'm still preferring Havertz, I think. We'll just swap Isak for Pedro. This is from Mammoth.
Isak's injured, isn't he?
I think he's actually going to be all right. He went off injured, and then there's a bit of talk that it was an impact injury, and then I think he gave some interview today. Someone called Andy Kerr said, exclusive, Isak is fit to face Liverpool. Sat down with the Swedish striker today. So it sounds like he might be okay. But do you want, yeah. You're going to have to stick with him now, aren't you, just for this game week? So you're going to find out by the following game week. So
Yeah, I'd like to have Isak from game week 15 with Leicester and Brentford in a double game week, both at home. Then they've got Ipswich and Villa after that in another double game week. So it's a good period to have him over Christmas, and next week's Brentford away. So yeah, we'll get to see if he's back, if hopefully for this Liverpool game.
what's this
If
game
not,
week 16 double?
this game 16 double is Ipswich and Villa.
It's not terrible, is it? If Villa keep conceding.
Yeah. Villa away, but yeah, it's a decent double. I don't think I'd bother bringing João Pedro in. Maybe 16, but I'm not that fussed about bringing him in now. He's got Leicester next week though, so he could be a good fixture for him. But I just like going for double game week players, if you know what I mean. Get 2 bites of the cherry. It's a single for him next week.
What do you think of that one, Tony?
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah, I completely agree. Obviously, if you are swapping Isak out this week, obviously you were going to want to go to a double game week player. And I know, obviously, they're having some struggles at the minute as well as City. Villa aren't at their best at the minute, but nice fixture against Southampton. Do you think they could bounce back? Look at maybe, Watkins, Isak to Watkins maybe for that. They've obviously got double Red Bull Leipzig midweek as well, and Forest as a single the week after. But there's quite a few teams that are singling, obviously, because not in the cup. I don't dislike them 3 games: Southampton, Red Bull, and Forest. That's not a form pick though, but there will be a lot of people either moving away from Villa or not really tempted by him because of the form. So it could be a good differential pick, but nice fixture. So I'm probably looking more at that angle.
I guess if you do go for a double this week, you could. I think you want to try and get one that's in the Carabao the week after as well, don't you? Just in case. Then if there is any sort of rotation in Europe, at least you've got another double to fall back on, I guess, potentially. Probably the way.
Yeah. I mean, we United and the rotation that's going on, that's really putting me off the players a little bit at the minute. And we did say last week before Amarin come in that we knew this was going to happen. Could do a few less changes before the 60th minute.
Even with Spurs last week, you can't tell. One week they just completely changed the entire team in Europe, don't they?
Yeah.
There was a tough game. Where were they? They were away somewhere quite tough.
Galatasaray.
Over at Galatasaray, yeah.
I'm sure it was that. It might have been that one, and you thought that they were going to put out a really strong side in that one because of the opponent, and then they didn't. And then there was another game that was really strong, and they just completely rotated. Went full strength in the second one. So yeah, it's really hard to nail down at the moment.
It's tough. It's tough. You can't rely on them European games at the minute, can you?
No, unless it's Champions League, I think. That's about it.
Yeah.
His second part of his question is, who are your favourite cheap defenders at the minute? He's not categorised.
Not got a budget there, has he?
Yeah, but have you got any? Maybe in a couple different ranges? You've obviously got a Stupinian who's done well.
Yeah. He's obviously he's a player who, was it last season? We thought he'd do all right and never really did much. I think he had a quite long term injury, didn't he, at some point? But he seems to be picking up the points through bonus points, tackles. He's an all action player. He likes to get forward, and he's at a good price point. But again, it's all right for the Premier League doubles, but we're going to have to start going back to Europe again. And maximising the fixtures. Rico Lewis, 3.2. He's going to be so popular once City hit form again. He's definitely going to be a very popular pick. I think he's still selected by us like 22%. It's saying on the game. I don't know how high that is up in the top 1,000. I think there've been quite a few have jumped away. But like you say, he's not as pricey as what he'd worked his way up to be. Obviously, after quite a few stinkers recently for City, but I like his price point now. Just wait maybe for a good performance. We just need City to bounce back, and then there's quite a few assets there that are at good price points. Who else? I wanted Eight Nori. He's not done much again, and he's not going to be an option going forward as we start to touch on the Champions League players. Dillit 3.2. He's cheap. He's pretty much nailed. I would say him. Martinez misses the next game, doesn't he? Do you get a yellow card?
Yeah, he got his fifth one. See Maguire though back.
Harry Maguire coming back, he'll probably score a couple, won't he? Over was it last season? Someone put in Harry Maguire with the part of the bus, and he scored in back-to-back games.
Yeah, I do remember someone doing it. I wasn't lucky enough to have that.
Yeah. What do you reckon of Emerson's free kick? 2.4 million, West Ham.
Oh, I couldn't believe that. I put him in my voice note to the hub as a cheap one because he was going up in price as well, wasn't he, from the week before? My mates who are season ticket holder said we've never seen him do that. Barely even steps up and takes them. And that was unsavable. And then he took another one and hit the crossbar like a bit later in the game.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, no saving that. He picked up his fourth yellow as well. It's getting to that time of season now. It's just going to happen for a few. Got any, Ben?
Yeah, I was having a look. Obviously, I like to try and get the double game weeks players in. So we've got, obviously, the European. This is the last European double before January when it starts back up in game week 20 after the FA Cup third round. But we have another double next week with the Carabao Cup quarter-final. So I'm looking to get a double player. And I've just found one at 2.9 million, Livramento. So he got free bonus in the last match and the match before, the other match before he got a free bonus as well. They've not been doing too well, Newcastle, defensively, but the fixtures do turn for them. So, okay, he's not a double next week. Got Brentford away. Then the double is Leicester and Brentford in the Cup, both at home. Ipswich away and Villa away. I think it could be a good one to jump on and hopefully get some price rises out of. and then you can move them on, and if they don't go through to the Carabao semi-final, because that's in game week 18, the first leg Carabao Cup semi-final. So there'll be a double game week there for Carabao Cup teams. So yeah, I like that one. Obviously, Newcastle got Hull as well, who's 3.8 million. But obviously, you're going to go for the cheaper one. I would anyway, if you're going to go for a Newcastle defender. And Shah is decent for a goal as well, and he share 3.5 million. Yeah, agree on Lewis. I think Lewis will become an option again at some point, probably from game week 16 for me. He's not in my team, but if I had him in my team, he'd be staying probably for the next game week. Udogie at Tottenham, 3.8 million. They've got decent fixtures and still in the Carabao Cup as well. Yeah, and the Man United boys, like you just mentioned.
Yeah, Noble's saying Euro is going to be back as well for United. Obviously, we saw Luke Shaw come off the bench as well. So, yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit put off by the United backline because I do think he is going to rotate a fair bit.
Yeah, I want to see like players playing all the time. Like De Ligt seems to be nailed, but doesn't mean he's going to play every match.
No. Yeah, I think you covered. I did put Cucurella, but I don't think he's certain for 2 games. Kirkes, you'll probably get the rise out of this week if you just wanted to keep building the budget and moving it on. But again, it's not great. If we take it to a tier above, because we've got a few people, obviously Get Carter mentioned it. C Partridge just joined us as well. Wants to know about Joe Gomez.
Yeah.
3.7 million. I tell you, he had a really good game against City. I've always thought he looked a bit shaky, Gomez, but he's actually, the last few times we've seen him, he's actually looked all right. Will you be considering him at 3.7?
Yeah, definitely if he's going to be starting, but his legs are made of paper, innit? Like paper sticks, so I won't be surprised if he gets injured.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a look at his injury record, actually.
I was interested to know whether they, do you think they'll start Gomez again for this second Premier League match in a row? Because, yeah, his injury record feels like it's been a bit worrying. They've got Kwanzaa, haven't they? 2.5, who would have been much cheaper if he'd have gone in there. But, yeah, I don't know.
I thought they would have stuck Kwanzaa in. But yeah, Gomez. He's always been good. I think he is a good centre half, but at the moment he's just had injuries at the wrong moments. When he seems to have nailed down a spot in that Liverpool side over the few years ago, he just seems to have had big injuries at the wrong time, and it really has held him back. He could have been a top player. But yeah, it was a really good performance from him coming on and doing what he did.
In spells. I'm sure he did well in spells last season, didn't he? Was it
right back? Was it?
Was it right back? Because they obviously had Bradley as well. Bradley done well last season. I can't remember where Gomez was playing. He played a fair few games though, I thought. He's down as having 5 assists last season, so yeah, maybe he was at right back for a little while. Go on, Ben. How injured has he been?
Do you want to know how many games he's missed for Liverpool? Trying to add it up there.
Is this the whole time? Is this the whole time he's been
through injury?
Yeah.
50.
He's been there a good few years now, hasn't he? Signed from Charlton.
2016, I think he's 2015, 16 signed.
15, 16, so 7, 8 years. 8 years, probably 50 or 60 games a season, in it. That's 6 8s, 480. I'd say he's missed 220.
You're not far off, mate. Yeah, it's about about 220, 240, something like that. I haven't added it up. There's too many injuries on there.
I want you to add it up now.
Yeah, you come back to me and I'll add it up for you.
Yeah,
But you're not far off because he missed 104 games through cruciate ligament injury at the start.
Yeah, he's had some big injuries.
Yeah, then he missed 47 games straight away, and then he's missed like bits and bobs. Then he missed another 25. Then he missed another 51, and then he missed like 9, 5, and 1. So yeah, it's quite a lot.
Just to clear up, I accidentally said 3.7. He's 3.1 million.
Oof.
Quite a big difference.
Another one to throw into that mix, like obviously quite cheap. Is Dragusin at Spurs.
Can't do it.
Should have had a goal at weekend as well, I think.
Did you see Davies? I think it might have been Miss Snoopy who's in the chat now. I'd mentioned Davies the other day. He got like 10 ppm. Don't know what he was doing in that match. It's normally Porro, isn't it? The bonus guy. He came with 5 points free bonus. So don't know where he's pulled that from.
Stealing them all.
No, I don't fancy that though. I do think Gomez is a good shout though. If you want to cover those clean sheets for Liverpool, we'll see whether he gets 2 starts. Let's go to captains for game week 14. I'll bring up the fixture ticker again. So, any thoughts on who you might be going for?
Mo Salah. I think it'll be a popular pick. The Derby, the Everton, Girona. He's on fire, isn't he, as well? Man in form. It's going to be another tricky week for captaincy. I do think that, because you could easily see Haaland banging again this midweek, coming back to form, and then it starts to get a little bit shaky when you're picking your captaincy. So obviously, if Haaland's having a bit of a stinker still, you feel a little bit safer going for Salah. But
I like that.
Salah and Saka, it's probably between them for me.
That's what I've numbered them, and I've gone Salah 1, Saka 2. Obviously, probably what happens the rest of the game week will play into that.
Dictate it. Yeah.
What have you got, Ben? Oh, muted.
Joe Gomez missed 245 games in total.
I thought he was going to say Joe Gomez captain. Sorry, Alan.
For me, I think I'm on Salah at the moment. He's just on fire, and Everton and Girona. Girona's not doing too well this season either. So I think that's a great double. Agree. Saka's got to be up there. You can't put Haaland down either, I don't think, even with Palace away and Juventus away. There's some good fixtures this week. And then you've got Watkins, if he plays the full 90. The Southampton at home and Red Bull. So, But that's if you want to bring him in. It'd be a nice differential. Just having him in your team anyway, wouldn't it?
Who's this on Watkins?
Yeah.
Yeah, Southampton home. But we've put our hope on him for the captaincy before, haven't we? Last season.
I'm saying it might be a good differential just to bring him in.
Yeah.
I don't think I could put the captain on him.
Yeah, that's fair. Bruno as well, Forest home, Victoria Pleasant away. But what I like about Arsenal at the minute is all of their games are taking place in London. There was that thing that we're not leaving London until basically, game week 17, game week 16, 17.
Bloody hell.
You got obviously home 18. United, away at Fulham, home to Monaco, home to Everton, home to Palace, Palace again, Ipswich. It's not quite London, but it's not far. Brentford.
Ipswich at home anyway, isn't it?
Oh, it's home game. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, the recovery and all that might play into Arsenal's hands a little bit compared to some of those away games.
Brighton's the first away game that's out of London, but it's not even that far away from London, is it really?
Nah, that's not a far trip either.
That's in January, so they don't leave London for the whole of December. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, then Brighton, home to Man U, home to Spurs.
Yeah. So then you go into Zagreb, Croatia, in game week 20. That's when it starts changing.
That's home as well, it says here.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a tough decision for that week. Obviously, a lot of us use our max captains now, though, so we can't get out of it that way. But yeah, one Haaland hat trick this week. Maybe we'll change our minds. Top nailed double game week players for 14. Nothing jumped out to me much different to what are in a lot of people's teams, really. I've put for Arsenal Saka, Ødegaard, Kai Havertz. I mean, we've been covering those already. He said attackers and forwards preferably. So, any from maybe City? It's just Haaland, isn't it?
I think after the performance off the bench, I think Doku, obviously depending injury wise, I think you have to play him. Completely different dimension he brings to that attack.
Is he ever going to be nailed?
I mean, you got to nail him, haven't you? Look, he changed that game for City. Like they had nothing. There was nothing going on. They couldn't create anything. As soon as Doku come on, he was beating people. He would get behind the defence. They have to start using him more. He's an unreal talent.
7 ppm coming on in the 60th minute.
It's mental. But he's so direct. I love the way he plays football. Love it.
I've heard a lot of negativity about him, his performance in the game though when he come on, because he wasn't crossing the ball. He just kept turning back and trying to beat the defender again. And Haaland's just like not even stopped running apparently, because he's just like, well, what's the point of running? And Alan Shearer was having a go at him on Match of the Day 2 as well, saying he's not putting the ball in the box. He says strikers want the ball in the box, and it's no good just going back and beating the defender again.
But for the previous 60 minutes, they couldn't even get the ball anywhere near the box.
Yeah.
I do think they needed
it. I get what he's saying, but they were always looking for the cutback. Like, they're not a team just to swing it in the box. And I know Haaland's a danger there, and there's many a time you find Haaland at that back post, but I don't think that's Doku's fault. I think that's the way the team's set up.
Yeah.
But you can't swing a ball. Liverpool were defending so well as well. Like Gomez and Van Dijk were having brilliant games. You swing it ball in there in the hope that Haaland's going to get on the end of it. Yes. No, I don't agree with that. What does Shearer know about football?
Walker frustrates me as well. Like when he plays with right back, like he gets down the line and then he turns around and passes the ball back every time. It's definitely something that's been coached into the City players. Because like I swear, Walker when he was at Spurs, he used to get down the line and cross it in.
Yeah,
it seems to be different tactics. Just keep the ball, find the gaps instead of just trying to whip it in and get on the end of it.
Yeah, you have to bring a bit of individuality into it, and that's why obviously once he brought on Doku and Savino, it did change the game a little. They had that directness, that bit of just difference, not the same old. I think they're just two Man City for the first however long in the game. They were just predictable, and Liverpool's press were unreal. So, but yeah, I just Doku obviously he is a PPM magnet.
Yeah.
He's explosive. He can score. He can assist. He's a good differential for 14. If he gets through this Forest game fit, and I tell you what, if he gets a decent score in this Forest game, he might be a popular pick for that 14. If he's going to go up 0.2, 0.3.
Any others that you'd go for? Obviously Salah, everyone's got. Bruno, everyone's got. Anyone else from Liverpool, maybe?
Yeah, he's asked to talk about nailed players, and now I'm going on about some fringe City player. But I mean, we know the nailed, don't we? Same like Villa. You've probably got the Watkins, Rodgers, Tielemans. Yeah, I mean, you know the player.
I can't put anyone nailed from Spurs really at the moment.
No, we can't. Yeah, I just thought of that. You can't do that for the double. Obviously, you know the team for the Premier League game, but Europe you can't.
Odegaard's got.
Odegaard. Well, that leads into Wadey's. So he said, would you prioritise with Arsenal's fixtures? Would you prioritise Gabriel or Havertz next week? He's already got Timber, and he's already got Odegaard and Saka. So he'll either be adding a third attacker from Arsenal or a second defender in Havertz or Gabriel. Which one do you like the best?
I'd go Gabriel.
You go Gabriel.
No, sorry.
And that's right. You go.
I'd go Gabriel. I think with Saka and Odegaard, I think you've got enough up top there going forward for Arsenal. Gabriel's a threat as it is anyway, isn't he? Them set pieces.
Already.
Them set pieces are unreal. He's earning his money in that set piece, coach. He's really is like.
You know where we got him from?
Go on.
City. He was at City.
Arteta. Backhand.
No.
Arteta.
Yeah. Stole the set piece, coach.
Well, I mean, did you see that free kick from City? When they had a chance, just swinging it box, and then ended up playing it back. He ended up with back with Ortega. You're thinking, what is going on with this side?
What about you, Ben? Out of these two?
Yeah, I think I'd go for Gabriel as well, just because of the fixtures are so good. I think Arsenal can get lots of clean sheets, and then obviously Gabriel's so attacking anyway. He's like the target man for all the set pieces. I think it's worth just getting him in. I mean, Havertz could get rested every so often, and I don't know. I just prefer Gabriel. I think there's better options in attack in other teams. I can get in my team. He's not a talisman.
These extra Arsenal attackers left a sour taste in your mouth, haven't they? With Martinelli, Trossard earlier in the season.
So yeah, that's 3 out of 3 now, isn't it, for me?
You may as well try Havertz as well. Just say you've done it. I'd go Havertz.
I've had Havertz in this. I've had him in this season. Havertz.
Any good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would go for it. I don't like how the clean sheet can just get wiped out in one goal. And I just see that Arsenal do seem like they really have started to click up top now. So with Odegaard and Saka, so I think I'm going to try and target that. He's
not on penalties though, is he?
No, well, it might be. You never know. How Saka might be feeling, on the day. Yeah, no, I like it. His other move will be Forster, he said. Nobbles. How many times have you asked this one this season, Nobbles? Is Haaland still essential? You've been waiting for this Haaland downfall. Actually, I think Nobbles brought the Haaland downfall on, didn't he? He was going well until Nobbles brought him in.
Yeah, he
Cheers,
was.
Nobbles, mate.
Fine.
Yeah, then he took him out and he scored 2 goals.
Oh, no. I forgot about
that. He scored 2 goals last week, didn't he? In midweek. You just throw, Scott.
That's a great phrase.
There we go. What did I say last?
You
back.
just froze when I said, "Oh, he's got 2 goals last week."
Am I back as normal now?
Yeah, you're back to normal now. Yeah,
Nice.
you're back in the room.
That was Nobbles. He's hacked me there. He cut me. Retaliating. Which Man City assets are still worth keeping? You're not selling Haaland, are you?
I'm not selling him. No, definitely not for this double. And if I had any City players, I do think they'll come back midweek against Forest. I think they'll get a result. So then they might end up getting a decent price rise, some of the players, or even staying the same. And then they've got Palace and Juventus. So I'd be in no rush to get rid. I only got rid of Gvardiol because of the money last week. And obviously he was going down 0.3. I did not expect him to be dropped for the game weekend, but it's worked out all right. But if I had him, I wouldn't be in no rush to get rid of him. I might sell him for game week 15 if I had a load of if you had a load of Man City players in your team, because then you can get on a double game week player like Odegaard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liverpool's got a lovely run, haven't they, as well? Everton, Girona, Fulham, Southampton, Tottenham, Leicester, and West Ham. So, yeah, there is options.
Yeah, Foden's on the chopping block before Haaland for me.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll wait and see how the rest of this week goes. It's one of them though. You keep saying it's gonna have to be this next match. It's gonna have to, and it's not stopping, is it? So we'll see. It's strange. Are we overlooking the Liverpool assets? I mean, I do think that could be the same, like you said with Odegaard. I think maybe I wouldn't mind taking a punt on a Gakpo or a Diaz, maybe for that cup week, and just hope to get the better fixture of the two.
Yeah.
But there is always that disappointment there, isn't there? That you compared him to Mahrez, didn't you? You two earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Who,
There's a lot of
Diaz?
blanks. Yeah, there's a lot of blanks when you look at his scores, but then there's quite a few massive hauls as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's on it, isn't he?
Frustrating owning these players that get rotated though, isn't it? But you just, because they play for such good teams and obviously they're good players, they can still go off in one game. It's just trying to hold your nerve when you get a couple of benchings in it and hold them through.
Especially with 2 transfers a week as well. It's so easy just to go, I like the rest of my team. I'm going to just get him straight back out again.
Yeah.
What about the defence? Because we said about Gomez, but Trent looked fantastic. I know you had him for a long period, didn't you, in the season earlier, and I wasn't really keen, but I must say I did play around with my team a little bit earlier and see what it looked like with him in there. Did you go back?
I think with the Bradley injury, I think that makes it, because he had such a good performance, didn't he, against Real, that you're thinking, what the hell, like, could start putting doubts into whether Trent will be starting here. But with that injury, Trent's nailed. He's such a danger. He's so good, like attacking wise, that you're not really arsed about the defensive side of the game and trying to get that clean sheet. You're actually looking, is he going to get an attacking return? He's as good as that. He's like having a midfielder, like I don't know, say a Kuwazeski, like a playmaker, an Odegaard, that ilk, where you're expecting big chances created, assists, the odd goal here and there. I think he's up there with them. So yeah, it's tricky to get into your team.
So far this season, it has been a bit slow on that front. Just the 2 assists at the moment, but we know he's got it in the locker. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you starting to wonder whether it's a slot thing and maybe he's just not going to play like that? But we saw glimpses of it in that City game.
No, I still think he's getting into the positions. Maybe not as much as maybe he has under Klopp, but you can't. I don't think there'd be any manager on the planet that'd hold him back from being in those positions, whipping those balls in, taking free kicks. He's deadly. He really is. The delivery he's got is unbelievable. So yeah, I don't think there's out like that. Maybe the shape of the team might affect him in some ways, but no, I think he's just as dangerous as he probably was last year. Just not obviously hitting the highs at the moment.
There's only 0.2 between him and Virgil now, so you're probably not going to go Virgil, are you, over Trent?
No, although he should probably have scored 3, was it? Against City.
Yeah, he had a really good game. Hit a post, wasn't it?
Yeah, just before they scored, I think it was.
Yeah, I think the last few results, I don't think I think I had Trent for one game week, didn't I? Then took him straight back out again. But yeah, I looked at the fixture run and thought this is going to be the period where I think they might slip up, or this is going to be what we see what they're made of. And clean sheet against Real, clean sheet against City, Leverkusen, Villa. Yeah, I think the defense is the real deal. So yeah, I think I will be getting one, whether it's the cheap one in Gomez or whether it's the attacking one. I'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I held him through until the injury. Obviously went off injured, didn't he, and missed out on that clean sheet. Was that against Villa, I think it was. Took him out, which he missed I don't know what game he missed now. I've not lost too much on him anyway. But yeah, I only took him out for the injury, otherwise he'd be sat in my team. So yeah, trying to get him back in is probably on the agenda.
Yeah, I was just going to say that with Joe Gomez possibly being an option, it might be just wait until we've got bigger budgets to get him in, because I'm in no rush. I mean, I love having him in my team, because you just know he can score or assist out of nowhere, and it's really entertaining having him in your team anyway when Liverpool's playing. But for the price, I think a lot more cheaper midfielders and defenders are scoring pretty similar scores to him at the minute. I know he hasn't really got the attacking returns yet. When he does, then he'll start shooting up the table. But yeah, he's basically getting loads of clean sheet points at the moment. But there's obviously cheaper players in the Liverpool lineup at the moment, so it might be the way to go at the minute and keep your money in the attack. I'm not sure yet. Yeah,
especially if you're thinking about playing a goal bonus or something like in the near future. Yeah, that's probably not a bad shout either, is it? When you think the price, you could probably get like a Timber, who's like 4 around that point. You could get a Liverpool for 3 point something. You could get quite a nice defense for not very much money, couldn't you?
If Gomez starts the next one midweek, then he's definitely interesting me. It's just like Slot seems to like to play a settled back line, doesn't he? Which is great. Which is what he used to do back in the day. All the managers, and he had a good team. He used to just like the back line. It never changed, did it? But like Klopp used to mess about with Konate all the time, taking him in and out. And this season, he's had a lovely run of games, and he's proven how good he is. But obviously, he's injured now, so this is Gomez's chance. Hopefully, he takes it, and then he could be a nice and cheap enabler to get into the Liverpool defence.
Kirai's question was Vardiol replacements. So I think we've covered that with some of those names we've talked about. Joe Gomez probably looking a really good one. But would you keep Cunha for the single if you had fires to put out elsewhere? You've got him, Tony. You take this one.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on doing, but it's not the worst fixture in the world. Cunha's one of them players that he can get points from anywhere. So even if he doesn't score, he can still have a good solid game. So if it was his single against, I don't know, a defender, getting extra games out of a defender, I'd probably just hold Cunha. He's not the worst player to be holding on to, and I think he'll have a great game against Everton, and he'll come out with probably a 0.2 at the end of this week. I know there's a few players and managers that are captain in the so.
Yeah, it's his first quiet game in ages, isn't it? Really,
it is.
It's fine.
It is, and it's a bit unusual, but yeah, I don't mind holding him for the single, and it might be something I'm forced to do as well. Unless I'm going to play without a keeper. But then, with the Forster thing, knowing that Forster's going to play at Spurs, they've said they're not going to replace Vicario, haven't they? So Forster's pretty much nailed now for the season in a European team at a cheap price. Am I silly not just moving on to that now? So that's something I've got to weigh up with.
I think that's a no-brainer, that one. I think you should do that.
Yeah, I think it's good.
In. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, I think, obviously going without a keeper for next week. I know Forster's the obvious one, but Tottenham away and Chelsea at home and Rangers away, he probably won't get a clean sheet in those games anyway.
Yeah,
you probably could.
It might be even cheaper.
Yeah. It's just got Bournemouth for next in it away, and Bournemouth are decent at home against the top sides. Yeah, and Vardio, I mean, just wait and see what happens midweek. He might play again, and then he might be decent for the next game week as well, because he's got a decent double. Cunha, like I say, he's a talisman. I wouldn't mind holding him for a couple of singles if I had to, especially with West Ham and Ipswich in those two singles.
Yeah, not the worst, are they?
May end up getting a rise out of Vardio if he ends up keeping a clean sheet against Forest, where he didn't play against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4.3 now, isn't he? 4.3. Decent for attacking defender.
Any love for Rashford? Obviously, Tony's shaking in his boots. Shaking in his boots now.
16.
How is that?
What was your bet?
I'm sure I said 20.
20 goals. He's on 7 goals.
Yeah. He's not getting to 20 league goals. I'm telling you, he's not. You can't play Everton. You can't play Everton every week. Southampton, other one, Barnsley. It just doesn't happen.
Who are they got in the cup? Oh, they got Arsenal, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, and then Spurs in the Carabao as well, so it's not great. I just don't think we just said who do we think's nailed from Man United, and I think it's only Bruno in it in the front line at the moment. Maybe Ahmad. Yeah, not for me. Ben, this is up your street. Garnacho, Martinelli, and Palmer worth holding next week?
Yeah, it's. I would imagine that Martinelli's going to come in midweek and play against Man U, and then surely not. He's not going to get rested again the next game week. So yeah, I like to hold him, and then you got Garnacho. I can see him coming back in for the Arsenal match, and then he'll probably start the 2 games next week. So again, I mean, it's all right to hold them because they're quite explosive players. They can get a goal, and Palmer, as we know, can score lots of goals in one game. So, but it's Tottenham away next week. So, and then you've got Brentford at home, and he won't play in the Shamrock Rovers game. So it's a tricky one because he'd probably be going up in price only this week if he does well against Southampton as well. I mean, he's a big player, and so yeah, you could hold him through.
If Palmer ends up hauling in this Southampton game and Foden ends up blanking, you're going to keep Foden for the double and move Palmer on for the single.
That's horrible, isn't it?
That's a hard one, isn't it?
Yeah. It's tough.
The best thing is I don't think I have the
luxury
the luxury of being able to even make that decision. I think Foden and Palmer stay for me, regardless of what goes on this week. And yeah, I mean, I'd like a big performance from Foden in that Forest game. Maybe hold his price, get a few points. Palmer should. I mean, he should be going up 0.3. He should finish this week off with a nice haul against Southampton, and yeah, I think then he's a hold. He's an easy hold for the single then. But yeah, I'm not in the that luxury camp that some people might be, where I've got a few other things to tidy up.
Third best striker. This is from Nathan Wisby. Third best striker for next week, along with Salah and Haaland. So I'm going to just chuck Havertz in there. Got a soft spot at the moment.
Ben?
Probably Watkins.
Yeah, I'd agree.
It's a nice one. He had a few big chances, didn't he? Just couldn't finish them that last game.
Yeah.
Big differential.
And then a nice differential, yeah.
Southampton and Red Bull next. Surely his luck's going to start changing now.
Yeah, the sentiment's changed, didn't it? It went from everyone saying like Arsenal had made a bit of a mistake getting rid of Emery, and then it's completely flipped, and now it's gone a winless run, hasn't it? It's changed quite a bit. How long before we jump? This is from CCFC Jack. How long before we jump off of Haaland if he keeps blanking? So that's his recent points. So there's still some big hauls in there, isn't there? Really, it's a lot of blanks just in the Prem.
Won't be leaving my team, I don't think. I just know what I can do in one game.
All right, if he blanks against Forest, we keep him. If he blanks again against Crystal Palace and Juve, 2-2 and 2.
You only ever one game away from being on a Haaland hiding. It's you see well, the trend goes there. So at the start of the thing, Fulham and Wolves 4 and a 2. You're like, we're rid, get rid. And then he goes boom 19, boom 12. That is what happens. And it's been on the back end of one of them when people probably captained him as well. So you're on the back end of a 38-point deficit straight off. It's tricky.
Yeah. Imagine what you feel like if you took him out and he scored 19 points. You'd be absolutely...
Yeah. We've seen how close the overall leaderboard is as well. Like, I think I didn't have a Kelleher clean sheet one night, and then I went from being like 80th to 120th. As if you don't have a Haaland haul, you're done, aren't you? Like 99 teams in the top 100 are on Haaland. 97.8% of the top 1K. 10-man game.
It's literally like, so we say you got to play this game sensibly, and you do the things that are right each week that you can vouch for. So at the end of the week, if you've had a shit week, you want to say, right, did I make the right decisions? Before every game week, do you look at a double? So there for City, so Crystal Palace, Juventus. Is Erling Haaland capable of scoring a hat trick in both of them games?
Yeah.
Would it surprise you for him to score back-to-back hat tricks in those games? Would it surprise you to score back-to-back braces? It wouldn't.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. So if you take him out and he scores a hat trick against Crystal Palace and then 2 against Juve, you cannot sit there and say, yeah, I made the right decision. I just don't think you can.
It was that week that I didn't captain him. I just didn't captain him. It was only the Arsenal game. Like, that's logical. Don't cap Arsenal. You probably don't want to captain Haaland for Arsenal. He scored the first goal, didn't he? Within like the first 10 minutes, and I got that horrible feeling. Like, I don't like that feeling at all. So I just, I think it's good for you just to keep him in for the sake of
just for health reasons.
And the ownership is important in it, really.
Yeah.
Like, if everyone's got him and you haven't, you're that 1% who hasn't got him, and he does score a hat trick or a brace, he's just gonna hurt your rank so much.
Yeah,
I mean, like in FPL, everyone's selling him because the budget is harder to play that game.
Yeah.
You need the money
because it's so that game. Yeah.
But in this game, because the budget keeps going up and up and up so quickly, you can manage to hold him in your team. So it's not worth selling him.
Yeah, most of us have built like the budget so that it's basically covered his whole price, hasn't it? For a lot of people already.
Yeah.
In your team. Yeah, that's the unanimous. But let us know in the comments if you are going against him, or if you're that one person in the top 100 who hasn't got him currently. Show yourself.
Hey, don't get me wrong, though. When we go further into the season and you get into like the last 5 or 6 game weeks and you're thinking this is Hail Mary time, I mean, but not now. Yeah. Jesus Christ, what, we're a third of the way through the season? No.
I don't think we need to cover this last one, do we? So is it too late to bring in 4 stuff for Emi Martinez? You both thinking about it?
No. Get him in if you can.
God, we've done a long one here. So Trent or Quickfire, Trent or VVD? Trent.
Trent.
Best Liverpool mid? Tony?
Diaz. I know he's hit and miss, but he's explosive. He'll get you big holes if you get him at the right time.
Riyad Diaz,
yeah.
Yeah. And it's centre forward at sometimes as well.
Yeah, false 9. Yep, loving it.
And do you think Kelleher is going to be dropped anytime soon once Alisson's fit, or has Kelleher done enough to keep his place? He can't have done much more, can he?
I think they've improved with Kelleher in that. I bet there's not many Liverpool fans disagree with that either. I think he's been absolutely solid, good on the ball. What else can he do? I think it'd be very, very harsh to drop him.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he does drop him even when Alisson's back. The back-to-back clean sheets against Real Madrid and Man City, it'd be very harsh if he dropped him now.
Some big saves as well in there. It's not like, I mean, the Van Dijk mix-up, which could have really let City back into that game later on. That one-on-one stop with De Bruyne. Yeah.
Alisson might be getting Southampton in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah. I guess the thing is as well, like, And there's always been talk about Allison going, isn't there? They signed
Yeah.
that. Is it Mamadashvili or whatever his name was?
Yeah.
So maybe they just speed it all up.
Yeah.
Miss Noopy said that Kelleher did brilliantly last time and still got dropped, but for Allison, but yeah,
Wasn't
I don't know.
wasn't that when Klopp was still in charge?
There was a couple games this season, wasn't there? Because Kelleher wasn't available for one.
Oh yeah,
Someone
yeah,
else got
yeah.
in goal, didn't they? But I think that was only for a couple
This is
games.
a longer period now, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
They're now in December, top of the league. So you just ride the momentum. Surely don't unsettle things. Joe Gomez covered it. Previous finishes, Ben. You've got some good ones there from Charlie Troy.
My best one was 19th after being top around October, November. Fergie went on to win it that year.
Oh, was that the same year?
Yeah.
Nice. You've had quite a few good ones as well. Yeah, did you ever do Euros as well? Wasn't it?
Oh, the World Cup. I finished 8th and 16th. You could have more than one team before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 8th. I was in the money for the World Cup one when Argentina were 2-0 up, and my defender come off the bench. Acuna come off the bench, so I got the clean sheet points off the bench as you used to get, and that put me into the top 5. And then France went and scored a couple of goals, didn't they? And then it went to extra time and penalties. So I finished 8th.
Nice. Tony? We'll do best finishes. Charlie Choyne has asked all your previous finishes, but I think we've all been playing 10 plus years now, haven't we?
Yeah.
Was
last year your best finish?
What's that, sorry, Ben?
Was last year your best finish, Tony?
Yeah, 26, 27. Yeah, I think, one of those. That was my best finish, that one. Was it 49th previous year, the year before that?
Yeah.
2 top 50s in a row. Happy with that, but yeah, so close to that grand. I think it was that when I were having them San Miguel's and taking Walker. Was it Walker I took out?
Kyle Walker.
Oh, okay.
Who do we take out? Yeah, the Ake decision.
Yeah.
And then Walker come on because Ake was made of Weetabix.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. I've not had any. I've not had any double digits yet. Slowly creeping. I got 465, so top 500, then 350, then 223. Last season was my best.
This is your best season so far, isn't it? 72nd.
Yeah, 72nd now. I actually had I've got a TikTok page as well, and I had a flashback thing come up, and it said this time last season I was 20th, but I'd played the part of the bus before everyone else, so it doesn't really, that probably don't count. But yeah, if I get a top 100, I'll be happy with that, I think.
That's been steady progress, that, hasn't it?
Yeah, since listening to you guys, man. I honestly didn't used to even look at the final rank. I just wanted to beat my mates, and then I think it was COVID sort of time. That's when I started listening to you guys on the pod, I think it was, and then I was like, oh, everyone's talking about their ranks. What am I? Oh crap! I think I was in the thousands. I think I was in the thousands. I think it was. And then I heard you going Brave, and I think that was the season. I was like, yeah, I'm going to jump on this Chelsea train, wasn't it? At one point.
Oh, and God.
There was Chelsea crash. Yeah, there was a good season with the Chelsea train, and then I think the season after we went on Chelsea train, it crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that must have been like four seasons ago, because I think the one before that was definitely in the thousands that time. Let us know what your best ranks are in the chat, in the comments as well.
Drop in the chat.
I think we've covered United. Would you just hold what you've got, or would you transfer out other than Bruno maybe? Defense is fine, I think.
Well, you say that, but having just Mazraoui, I thought as well, the game previously dropped Mazraoui into like a right centre half.
Both. Yeah.
So I thought, well, if he's going to start bringing Luke Shaw on and all these others, Malassi is obviously back in as well. I just thought he's bringing all these fullbacks on. If Mazraoui's got this ability to drop into that right centre half, you think that he's safe, and then he goes and takes him off after 56 minutes. I just, yeah.
Game was won though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, but we did predict this. It's going to be like this for 6 or 7 games. 6 or 7 games. He's going to rotate everybody. Garnacho sat on bench in my side is again another frustration. So, but there's still another game this week.
Big game, big game. Keep the big players. I think he's trying to keep players fit for this match. That's what he's done.
I mean, Garnacho's been one. I do slate his finishing. He needs to brush up on his finishing, but as an attacking outlet, he's a bloody good player, and he's one of the most. He's the most dangerous points of that United attack. So I'd expect to see him back in there.
Be interested to see who starts in the front three for United, because they're all scoring goals and they're getting assists, aren't they? Everyone's doing well on their little cameos.
Yeah, if I was United, I'd definitely start Xerxes for the Arsenal game.
I don't know what to take that with you.
It's one of them where, obviously, he has been pants, hasn't he? There's no words way of putting it, but a couple of goals.
He was actually genuinely good the last game, but he is the striker I think I'd rather face at the moment.
Yeah.
Right, should we do some leagues and get out of here? It's been a long one. Right, tag team. In third is myself and Connor. In second, we've got Paul McNulty, Andrew Ferguson. And in first, we've got G. Walker and Lee Hooper. Sorry, what's G. Walker's first name? Is it Gaz?
Gary
Walker and Lee Hooper. So we've got new tag team champions currently. Let's see, can they hold it? Yeah, Lee saying he had a bad week in the Discord, but look, he's flying up there. 91, that's decent. Well done, lads. And what you got there, Ben?
Patreon Cash Mini League. I got Lee Hooper again in third.
Nice.
Silent Powell in second. And Mark Tavares, our South African, in first.
Well played. Silent Powell's slowly, quietly crept his way up, hasn't he? The assassin.
Silent assassin. And the Dream Team Tonic Cash Mini League top 3. Mark Tavares in third. M. Fisher second. And Jay Robertson top of the shop. 100-point week. 1641. Nice score.
That's a massive scores, isn't it? I think quite a lot of our group doing very, very well. Yeah, I'm in my 72nd, and there's still quite a lot of our Patreon group that are above us in the cash league. So we've got some real high flyers at the minute. Well done, everyone.
We've created too many good players.
Created a monster. Go on, Ben. Ultimate.
Yeah, I'll have a look. Savaganders. Oh, I've dropped out the top 3. So, third place, Dan Sherwood. Second place, Johnny Curry. And top, Alec Wilcox. I'm fourth.
Still.
And we don't read out top 4.
Yeah. I'll cut that bit. I'll cut that bit out. Right.
Newpie put a question in later on,
Oh, wait,
just
sorry.
to finish off with it. Late to the party. First question: top striker and midfielder picks for 4.8 million or less, please.
Top midfielder
For this
striker.
game week, 4.8. So not Havertz.
No, I think Kai counts.
Does
Where's
he?
at?
He's over 4.8, isn't he?
Nah, he's close. He's close. 4.7.
Yeah.
Oh, he is. He sneaks in.
That's me.
Ben?
4.8. Striker or midfielder?
Yeah.
How much is Diaz?
Diaz is 4.2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice
Diaz.
fixtures.
Just plug him in and hope he plays, because there's some good fixtures coming up for Liverpool.
That's the thing, is with Liverpool is a bit of the rotation risk, isn't it? And I think that's why the likes of Gakpo, Nunez, Diaz are not really that high owned. But I think Gakpo 4.5 as your third striker. He's top drawer, Gakpo, and he seems to be involved quite a bit at the minute. So yeah, Gakpo will be my shout.
Jota could be back this month as well. Some point.
Oh, God. He only lasts a few weeks, though, doesn't he?
Yeah. Another one made of Weetabix.
Yeah, I mean, it's
4.5.
a shame as well because he is a talented player.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No one going for Nunez.
No, not for me. Is that a wrap?
Yeah.
That's a wrap.
Cheers, guys. When is the next deadline? I'm sure we'll have a deadline streaming store, but games are coming thick and fast now.
Next one Saturday, 11 o'clock.
All right.
What's the
Everton
deadline?
Liverpool's a game. If you look at the fixture ticker on the Patreon, I've got all the deadline games on the ticker, so you can see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Liverpool.
Everton Liverpool's the next one. The one after that is a 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday the 14th. So that's half one deadline next week.
Cool. Well, see you all on the deadline stream. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Have a good evening.